Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King Geo in the house. I want to start off by saying, teaching every one of you, thank you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Also, hit that notification button, little bell that you see right there, so it'll notify you when I upload a video. And also be aware that I have a membership channel now. Now you can join to my channel, and you get different perks. There's a different pricing, so join my channel, get the perks. We can do live one-on-one. There's a lot of things that we can do we couldn't do before, and that also supports the channel too. It helps me to go out and do the giveaways that I do, and that's the one thing that I like to do a lot, is I like to help people out and do giveaways. Well, I'm going to talk something different today. I'm going to talk something that has been on my mind for several years, right? And I'm going to tell you this from a male perspective. Maybe you see other videos from a woman perspective, but I'm gonna talk about it from a male perspective. I'm talking about when you're in a toxic relationship. You know, we tend to, when we are in a relationship, we have a tendency to overlook things, right? To overlook things as far as the way that you normally wouldn't do. You know, if you look at yourself and you're in a relationship, there are certain things that you allow from one person, but you would not allow from that. There are certain things that you would not allow from one person, but yet you would allow it from the partner that you're with, from the person that you're with, from that significant other that you feel that you're in love with, right? And there are times that you feel consumed, that you say to yourself, what am I doing? Why am I here? In toxic relationship, becomes toxic. It's when there's constant fighting. There's always constant backlashing. Um, when there's always when that person's always putting you down. It doesn't matter whether it's him or her to him. Um, when there's never a connection there, when you're always doubting yourself, whenever you walk into the house, he or she is always yelling at you because you haven't done something, or for whatever little thing that you do, that person's on your back. There's mistrust issues. Those things are toxic when he or she yells at you for no apparent reason, and that is toxic. And sometimes we stay in a toxic relationship because we think that this person is going to change. Um, a person who drinks a lot and doesn't want to stop drinking. A person who uses drugs a lot, doesn't want to stop using drugs. That's a toxic relationship. Um, when the relationship just becomes abusive, as far as whether it's physical or verbal, even mental, that's toxic. When two people are always constantly arguing, and for no apparent reason, just arguing for just to argue, either whomever is the one that starts it, that's a toxic relationship. And sometimes that we get caught up in this toxic relationship that it's kind of hard to get out. I give you an example of me. I was in a toxic relationship, but I was in a toxic relationship because of me. Um, I was drinking. I was an alcoholic, and I was going out with a girl, and she tolerated me the best that she could for a year and a half. I was never abusive to her. I was never abusive, not physically, mentally, none of that. But it took its toll because she saw me that I drank every day, and she wanted me to stop, but I just chose not to stop. I didn't want to stop. Even when she got pregnant, I had to promise her that I was, and I didn't. So for her, that was toxic. And then after a year and 4 months, she decided to break up with me, and I took it. I accepted it. I accepted it because I said to myself, I'm always drinking. She's not, there's not much I can give her if I don't want to stop drinking. So I accepted the fact that she wanted to leave, and I gave her that. So I respected that, but I wasn't aware that I was doing damage to her mentally. I wasn't aware of that. You know, so that's one toxic relationship. But I should have left her in the beginning, and I tell you why. Because at one time I wanted to leave her because I just couldn't deal with some of the things that she did. And when I told her, you know what, this is over with. Um, she got on her knees and cried and said, "Gio, don't leave me. I don't know what I'm going to do by myself. I've never been alone." I was 24 years old. She was 22, and I felt bad. And that was my mistake. That was my mistake. And I took her back, and that cost me a lot. That cost me um, that cost me my first daughter. I lost my daughter because of that. Because of that 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 mistake of taking her back. Um, at that time, my baby's mother had passed away, and I was seeing my daughter on and off because she lived in Florida, and I was in New York, and then I called my daughter every day. And after we broke up, this individual did something that cost me the opportunity to see my daughter. Had I nipped it in the bud right there and then, when I should have kept adamant to my decisions. And that's the one thing that we have to do too when we are in a toxic relationship, is that we have to stay firm in our decisions to leave. You know, because sometimes it is kind of hard. You don't want to leave this person. You're in love with this person. You want to help this person. You want your relationship to work out, but you want to work out. But to what extent do you stay? How long do you stay? How much are you going to? How much are you going to take? And it takes its toll. You know, so it's more different for a female than it is for a male. Um, when the relationship ends, it really is. A female will hurt. A female will feel pain. I'm not saying a man won't. Um, and a lot of emotions go through the female than it would a male. Um, and then after a while, the female just, you know, she's calm, she's lucid, she knows what she wants. She doesn't want to go back to that relationship, or she doesn't want to go back to a relationship that's just like that. A male is totally different. A male, when they break up with a man, they like, what did I do? Knowing that they did something, that they were abusive verbally, they were abusive physically, they were cheaters, you know, they weren't helping in the relationship. You know, because a relationship, to be honest with you, is a 50-50. You know, you have to give to receive. And there's also communication. That's very important in a relationship. There's a lot of components that go into a relationship. You know, it's not just we're together and that's it. No. And a lot of things that we do is the mistakes that when we move in. But going back to the male, so the male takes it as, what did I do wrong? What can I do to rectify? Um, Sometimes they go beyond that. They get angry. Oh, she left me. How dare she leave me after what I put into this relationship? Is she crazy? This is not going to happen. If she's not mine, she's not going to be nobody's. And that's not a very healthy way to look at things. Um, you know, so when you are in that toxic relationship, you have to learn what the key things. You have to learn when to leave, when everything is over. I don't believe I met one female in my lifetime that her husband hit her once, and she left him. She has a kid with him, and she left him. And I was like, she left him. Not only did she leave me, she divorced him too. And I said, why did you leave him? I said, because I would not allow a man to hit me. I said, well, only happened once here, but that's it. That's all you need is one time. He'll apologize, and then boom, he'll do it again. He'll apologize, and he'll do it again. And I don't have time for that. And I admire her. I admire her because most women don't do that. Most women will stay on the ship and just stay constantly. My mother was a woman that was abused by my father, and thank God she left after 4 years of abuse. But it took my mother. It took her courage. And this girl, this woman, just with one touch, she just decided to leave, which is great, you know. So that's very important too. When do you leave? How long do you stay? Because the longer you stay, the harder it is for you to leave. And the one thing that we have to understand in a toxic relationship is that you have to know you're in a toxic relationship. You have to, you know, you just arguing all the time. That's not normal. Fighting all the time. That's not normal. Getting hit. That's not normal. Being cursed at. That's not normal. Being degraded to. That's not normal. Your husband's telling you have, or your husband, or your boyfriend telling you have to stay in your house. You have to stay in the house and you have to clean this, that. You cannot go out. You cannot do this. No, that's not normal. You know, those are the things that you say to yourself. Wow, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute, because you're a person, and you're entitled to do anything that you want to do, either whether you're married or not. But there are certain things you cannot do if you're married, of course. Cheating is one of them. And you realize, once you realize, let's say X, his name is X. Okay, X never been like this before. X exchange. X has done this differently. So see that's different. When I just thought about something, when that happens, that means he's probably cheating. But when X it's trying to be the alpha male, or the female tries to be the alpha male, because you do have women who are like that, and they control every part of your they control your thoughts, your feelings, because there are certain times that you're in a toxic relationship, that person can make you feel that that's the way you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel shitty. That you're supposed to feel down. That nobody loves you but me. Your parents don't love you. I love you. And sometimes you as a human being, you believe that, because if you were told time after time after time after time that you're not worth nothing, you're gonna think that you're not worth nothing. Okay? You're nothing but a piece of crap, or you're nothing this, you're not your mind, you do as I say. And that's a toxic relationship. So what you do is you step back, you analyze things and say, this is what I really want. No matter, think about it this way. Think about it this way. There are 7 billion people in this world, half a man and half a woman, right? When it comes to that decision of leaving, we have a tendency, a human being says, I'm not going to find somebody else. I don't think I'll ever find another him. I don't think I'll ever find another her. That's what we put in our mind, because we lived in this relationship. That's all we know. But in reality, is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That there is another person waiting for you. That there is a person who's going to appreciate you, a person who's not going to yell at you, a person who's not going to scream at you, a person who's not going to be abusive to you, a person who's going to treat you like a king or a queen, a person who's going to treat you like a human being that you deserve to be treated. And we get caught up in that we're not going to find nobody. What if I don't find nobody? That's 7 billion people in the world. You're going to find somebody. Eventually you will. Eventually you will. But going back to the toxic thing, when you're in a toxic relationship, you have all these negative feelings that you don't know how to act, because you're in this relationship that's all you've known for quite some time, for however long it may be. And that's, if you've been in a relationship for years, and for years it's been toxic, it's going to be kind of hard for you to leave, because you don't know what to do. You don't know the steps to take. You're like, oh, should I leave now? Or should I leave later? Is he going to change? Or is she going to change? I'm going to give her another chance. I'm going to give him another chance. How many chances can you give so you can think that you're going to feel, okay, this person's going to change. This is what this person's going to do to make me feel better. So I can feel comfortable in this relationship. And that's the way it is. In toxic relationship, and toxic relationship, I'm not talking about toxic relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not talking about toxic. I'm talking about when I talk about toxic relationship, it could be a relationship with you and your significant other, whether it's your boyfriend or your husband. It could be your friend. You could be in a friendship. You can have a friendship, and your friendship can be toxic, because all this person does is just brings you down, brings negativity to you. That's toxic. People, company does misery does company. People who are always bringing people down. People that, that person never going to do anything. Come on, you're not going to do anything, man. Just stick to your job. You do what you got to do, and that's it, man. No. You need people in your life that's going to elevate you, that's going to have the same aspirations as you do. Okay? When you go in a relationship, you have to know what you want. You have to know your worth. You know. So if you're in a toxic relationship, and I'm not gonna go through the steps here. This is what it is, because toxic relationship, to everybody it's different. You know. But you basically know the constant arguing, the hitting, the verbal abuse, the mental abuse, the other person is just so vain that it's just me, 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 me. Um, and I see a lot of women out there. Now I'm talking about women who get abused in their relationship physically, and they still stay and they say, "Well, he loves me. What am I going to do without him?" That's the mentality that a woman has. He loves me. What am I going to do without him? Same thing that you were doing without him. You living your life. You know, so don't ever say to yourself, he loves me, when you're getting hit, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Because those the triggers that are gonna keep you back. Say to yourself, I'm gonna leave him, and I'm gonna make something better. I'm gonna make something better of myself. You know, a lot of women, they think that they need a man so they can feel, full, so so they can feel that someone loves them. And that's also a toxic thought. It really is. Because you don't need a man, or you don't need a woman to make you whole. You don't need a man, or you don't need a woman to make you feel whole. We get in relationships because we want to be with that person. That person makes us laugh. That person makes us cry in a good way. That person is always there for you. That person's never let you down. That person does things to you unexpectedly, that you don't expect, that are good and are good. That's what you need, a person where everybody in this world needs someone to be with. I mean, the greatest man in the world, any man who has succeeded, and succeeded, I mean, in whatever level of success they think it is. And it's not even money wise. You know, I'm successful in my relationship because I stopped drinking, and I've been with my wife for 9 years, and she's been through me through thick and thin. And she's never left me, and she's always been there for me. She's always encouraged me. King Gio, you can do this. You can do this. I got you. I got you. You win this together. And that to me is great. You know, but sometimes you don't have that from another person, so you feel left out. You feel like, oh man, this person never there for me. So you're like, wow. So through every success that every man has, a woman, they always have someone with them, a good person with them. So that's what we need a relationship for. Is so we can walk together, be together, and do things together, and grow. You know, and like they say, we're gonna grow old and die. And we're gonna die alone regardless, because I could be in my deathbed, my wife could be next to me. She's not gonna die with me. I'm dying alone in that deathbed. She may lose something precious. She may lose a feeling inside, but that's about it. You know, so in the time that you with that person, whether your friendship, your marriage, your boyfriend or girlfriend, even your work relationship could be a toxic relationship with your boss. Your own job can be toxic. The people around you can be toxic. Your boss can be toxic. You don't need to surround yourself with those people like that. You know. So when you say to yourself, what am I going to do alone? He loves me. Every time he hits you, he loves me. No, that's not it. That's not love. Love's not supposed to hurt like that. Fuck that. You know. But that's those are toxic relationships. So then you step back and you say to yourself, how can I leave this relationship? I put so much into it. I've given 2 years of my life, 3 years of my life, 4 years of my life, and I've gotten 9 in return. So how can I don't know how to leave. Simple. It's kind of hard, but the choices that you have to make and say, you know what, I'm out. And as much as it hurts you, say, oh, what is he going to do without me? Or what she's going to do without me? Why? He can't take care of himself, or she can't take care of herself. And those thoughts come to your mind, and then you sit back and say, oh, I'll stay. But no, you're supposed to erase those thoughts in your mind when they come to your mind, and just leave. Even think about the things that this person did to you. The verbal abuse, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse that you went through. Think about those things. Think about that out there. There's 7 billion people, and half of them have women, half men. There's someone out there for you. There is someone out there for you. You know, so when you feel that you're drowning and that you can't take it no more because the relationship is not working out the way you want it to work out, then you walk away. You walk away. Is it gonna hurt? Yeah, it's gonna hurt. But think about it. You're gonna meet someone. Maybe not right there and then, but you're gonna meet someone. And life is too short for you to stay stuck in a toxic relationship. Life is too short. You're gonna miss out on a lot of things. You know, don't be afraid of the person threatening you. Don't be no. Just leave. That's the best thing to do is just leave. Hard, yeah, because I've been there. But if I would have known then what I know now, things would have been a whole lot easier. The emotional pain that I went through when we broke up. Not when the girl that I lost my daughter for because of. I'm sorry. I felt no pain when we broke up because she decided to break up with me, and I accepted that. I really did. I really did accept that. But my first relationship, I was only 18 years old, and that hurt me a lot. Well, at least I thought it was. At least I thought I did. At least I thought it did. And here I am moping for 3 years after I was 21, moping around. I tried to get back with her. I called her. At that time, there were beepers. I did everything. Well, mind you, she was dating somebody else. And I didn't see the fact that I didn't see. You know what? Here I am doing this I'm doing this bullshit. I'm getting myself down. And here she is with another man. Shit, like that. I'm gonna do my own thing. I didn't think of it like that. I thought I've been trying to get her because I love her, because I thought I loved her, blah 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 blah. And that was a mistake. I studied that for 3 years, and in the third year I was like, what am I doing to myself? This is not the way a person acts. It's not the way a normal person acts. And that's it. And I just kept on with my life. And I come to a point now that if things don't work out in a relationship with when your boyfriend and girlfriend, I've learned to just walk away. You know? With my marriage, it's different because I've been together with my wife for 9 years. Well, 10 years now. In September. So whenever even a thought goes away that I'm gonna leave, it's kind of hard because we've been through so much. We have so many things in common. So that's different, you know. And the age factor, you know, I'm 49 years old. I'm not a young kid no more. You know, do I want to go back into the dating scene? Do I want to start all over again? Do I want to meet? You know, you know, if I see my relationship is not good, then I'll leave. Even if it's my marriage, I'll leave because I have to find happiness within me. I cannot be in a relationship because I can't hurt her feelings, or I can't be in a relationship because we have kids together, and I'm thinking about my kids. You know, so I prefer staying in a relationship and be miserable as hell, and just to have my kids. That right there is toxic thinking because you're not thinking about yourself. You want to think about yourself, but you're thinking about your kids, which is a good thing. But you have to think about your happiness. How can you make those kids happy if you're not happy? You know, this is for a man. So you leave, make an arrangement with the baby's mom that you can see the kids and blah blah. I know it's hard, but things happen because you cannot be with this person. This person is not meant for you. And when a person's not meant for you and you try to force something, it's not going to happen. When you take two poles, okay, let's say this is two magnets, you know, North Pole and South Pole. North Pole, what they do when you put them together, they repel. South Pole, they repel, and that's how a lot of relationships are. They repel. This person is giving one thing, this person is giving another, and then boom, boom, boom. So when you have the repellent syndrome, then that's the time that you have to go. And you say to yourself, like I said before, what am I gonna do? Who am I gonna meet? Am I gonna meet? No, what? Just you will. It just takes time, and no matter how long you've been in a relationship, you gotta just get up and go and just leave. Because life is people believe me, life is too short. I remember when I was 20 years old, 20 years ago. I remember when I was 15, 35 years ago. Life went by quick. I didn't know I was going to see 49. I didn't even think about 49. But here I am. And it went by quick. So if you're in a relationship and you lost 2 or 3 years, you've been with that person 2 or 3 years, 10 years. Okay, fine. I lost 10 years of my life with this person. I could take the good memories, leave the bad memories, and go. You know, and you learn from that relationship, and you try not to make that same mistake with another relationship. You have to understand too, men are that's why it's very important for women, and I'm going to say this very much, and I mean this to men too, but more for women. Women, never tell the person that you're dating, whether it's female or male, all your problems. Never tell them about your ex. That has nothing to do. When I was dating, I never liked a girl telling me about ex. That's not my problem. I don't want to hear it because I know me, and I was a player, and as a player, I'm not playing as a cheater on girls because I don't. But as a player, I would take that information that you're giving me, that your boyfriend didn't do this, that your boyfriend treated you wrong, that your boyfriend abused you, that your husband, well, I never messed with a woman. I never messed with a woman with that's married, or that your ex did this, that your ex did. I take all that information and I put it up here as you're talking to me. I'm analyzing you. I've always done that. I analyze people when I talk to them. And I say to myself, oh, this means that she's lonely, she's alone, she's very vulnerable. Bam. That's when I go for my attack. If I wanted to really right there and then say, this is the girl that I want to take to bed, I want to take her to bed tonight, I use that information that you give me as to my advantage. Oh, I'm not like that. Men are stupid. I can't believe what a man does that. So I would go and I would portray myself as a sensitive, caring man. And the woman like, oh, you're so sweet. I wish I had met you before. Blah blah blah. But now we're here. So let's talk. So a person like me can feed off of that. So that's why you don't tell a person everything of your ex. Your ex is your ex. Talk about, hey, what makes you? Okay. Why would this person want to date you, and vice versa? Don't want to hear that you and your ex eggs or ice cream on Sundays or I mean, sometimes a girl wants to tell those things so she can vent, and I can understand that. But when you're meeting someone for the first time and you get into that person, that's not something you say. If you guys get into a relationship and you feel that you want to talk to your significant other at that given moment about certain things that happened to you before with your ex that you don't want him or her to do, then that's something you can do. Because you don't have to tell them, oh, my ex used to beat the crap out of me. You don't have to say that. You say, I don't like abusive relationships. I would not tolerate a man hitting me. I will not tolerate a man yelling at me. Stuff like that. So learn. There is no specific sign. A lot of people say, "Oh, this is a sign of a toxic relationship." When it's a toxic relationship, but as you know that you're in a toxic relationship, you have to know when to get out, and that's the key part. That's the hardest part of all. It's getting out, because some of us stay stuck on that. Because for some odd reason, we want this to work out. How can I make this person change? And that's the key thing that we try to do. We try to change people, and we can't change them. That person has to change on their own. And if that person doesn't change on their own, that's the time you say, you know what, life is too short. I'm a bounce. I'm leave. You can keep the furniture. You can keep the, I'm out. I'm not going to stay somewhere where I'm getting abused physically, mentally, or emotionally. I'm not going to do that. It's not conducive to me. It's not conducive for you. It's not conducive for this relationship. This relationship is not going anywhere. So it's time for me to go. And you leave. You get up and you go. And you start all over. Take as much time as you want to be alone. And then go boom, boom. Because life, like I said, the key thing is that life here is too short. Why? Think about it this way. You're in a toxic relationship. You leave the toxic relationship. While you're suffering, right? The other person already has somebody else. The other person's already kissing somebody else. The other person is already saying "I love you" to somebody else. While you're dwelling, right, or you're wallowing in the past. I should have stayed. He loves me. I can't go back. While you're doing all these self-analyzing things that are not conducive for you, The other person is having a great old time, and here you are suffering. So you say to yourself, it is what it is, because that's what life is. It is what it is. Some things are just not meant to be. You live and you learn and you move on.